You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nate right here from Drake Wing Gaming. As some of you may on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace. I believe we are on Kei's path. Anyway, y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards in return, like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming Not Safe for Work videos. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. My point is just that. I don't really know what you want here. You say that this kind of thing is bad and wrong, but I never really thought about it like that. It's normal to me. Of course I would never want to hit someone myself, but I'm used to it happening to me. I've been told over and over that if it happens, it's because I did something to deserve it. So when you hit me, it was like a shock to my system. It made me stop and think about what I was doing and why it was wrong. When I realized, my first thought was, yeah, of course, no wonder this happened. With that in mind, I can see how he turned out like that. But at the end of the day, it's still so sad that he was basically trained into accepting this kind of thing. It makes me sad to think of a little child Keisuke having to go through that, all alone, in a house that he's no comfortable with and surrounded by people he can't trust. It's heartbreaking to think about. You're looking at me like that again. Sorry. If you say that is wrong, that it shouldn't happen, if you're this serious about it, then I have no choice but to believe you. But even then, I don't really know what to feel about what happened right this moment. I can't say that I'm mad at you or that I will struggle to forgive it. I'd be lying to you if I did that, and that's not something I want to do. But I'll think about it. There's nothing more I can offer, though. I don't know what I can tell you to make you feel better about what happened. It's not your job to make me feel better about what happened. I'm the one who messed up. It's not the victim's job to make their assailant feel better. Ugh. Please don't refer to us like that. It makes my skin crawl. Noted. Keisuke takes a deep breath, leaning his back against a nearby locker and exhaling. With the tension slowly leaving my body, my legs begin to wobble more and more. Eventually I sit down on a bench to avoid falling on my ass. The two of us hang around in this kind of uncertain limbo, neither of us saying anything for what feels like several minutes at first. Eventually Keisuke clears his throat, drawing my attention back to him. So, where does that leave us? I don't know. Do you think we should break up? I wouldn't want that, no. But you still maintain that what you did was awful. Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll just have to feel out where we go from there. Nothing else we can do about it. So, you trust me? You trust me to never do something like that again. If you say you won't, then I believe you. Well, sure, but I don't think I've ever given you reason to believe I would do it in the first time I did. And I still ended up hitting you. That is true. I don't want you to make this kind of decision lightly. You say that, but at the same time, it feels like you're telling me what I should be feeling. Sorry. Who knows? Maybe I am wrong. I guess if both you and Alex are saying the same thing, then it's bound to be true. Actually, now that I think about it, I never did get hit by any instructors or anyone else when Alex was around. It always happened when he wasn't nearby. Maybe that's why it became a lot less frequent after he got hired. Hooray for that. Either way, I'll have a lot to think through. But I still think things should stay there as they are between us. You sure? Yeah. I don't want to ruin our relationship just because of it. And you looked pretty horrified about it ever since it happened. Hell, you went through this much trouble just to convince me that you were in the wrong. I don't think you'd do that if you were the kind of person who'd want to hit me again. Of course I don't want to do that. Great. Then we're good. Being so casual about this makes me worry that the full gravity of our conversation didn't stick. It did stick, and please don't try to say the whole thing to me again. I already had to hear an earful from Alex going on and on about it. I'll leave you alone in this locker room and go practice. Fair. How about this? I was taught a good bit of self-defense from Alex for a few years. If you ever try to hit me again, I'm pretty confident I could beat the crap out of you. Would that work? Oh, sure, that sounds great. Oh no, am I going to have to be the one scared from now on? Good. God, please don't look like that. I'm obviously joking. Not a good joke. I disagree. It was hilarious. And you had it coming. And don't you dare get on my case for saying so. I wasn't about to. Good boy. Don't call me that. It's demeaning. Heh, alright, I won't do that anymore. This whole thing is so weird. This is not a kind of conversation I ever thought I would have, but I feel so good for having had it. Not that it completely fixes all my concerns, but I don't think I can take much more of it right now. Second, y'all. Water time. Man, now that all that dread and panic I was feeling since yesterday is going away, I'm starting to feel really zonked out. How come? I didn't sleep at all last night? You what? You never messaged me after you left, and I was terrified that Alex was talking to you. I thought for sure you'd break up with me. You give me way too little credit. No, I'm just actually aware of the severity of the situation. Not that I can say that out loud. I meant to text you last night, I really did. As soon as we got to Alex's place, he started lecturing me about you. By the time we were done, it was already past 1 a.m. My phone was dead, he didn't have any charger compatible with it, and there was no store open where I could buy one. 1 a.m.? The sun hadn't even finished setting when you guys left. Now do you understand what I meant when I said he kept going on and on about it? Jesus. I get that the situation was bad, but this is so excessive. I know he was just doing his job, but damn. Tell me about it. My phone is still out of battery. To tell the truth, I was going to pretend like that conversation never happened and ask to spend the night at your place again. I'd be able to charge my phone there. Really? You want me for my charger? That's cold. Really not what you should be focusing on here. Right, sorry. My point is that I wanted to spend time with you. I didn't want you to know what Alex said to me, since I knew that it would just make you feel even more guilty. Didn't you just say not 5 minutes ago that you didn't want to lie to me again? A lie of omission is not a lie. Yes, it is. It's in the name. Lie of omission. I refuse. You can't refuse a fact. Ugh. Oh wow, I'm actually factually correct in an argument with Keisuke? This is rare. Gotta make sure I savor this moment for as long as I can. Wipe the smug grin off your face. No one likes a gloater. Disagree. Ugh, you're an idiot. And you like me. What does that say about you? That I could do better? What? That was uncalled for. You poke the hornet's nest, you get stung. That's basic knowledge, my friend. What did you just say about gloating? That it's cool and I should totally do it. I hate you. No, you don't. You have not heard the last from me yet, Keisuke Urushihara. I will have my revenge. Anyway, I guess my point before getting sidetracked was that I want to spend the night at your place. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. You don't even have to ask. Of course I do. It's the polite thing to do. What about Alexander, though? Will he let you? Let me? I'm his boss, not the other way around. He doesn't tell me what to do. If I tell him that I trust you and that he's not allowed to say or do anything to you about it anymore, he's got no choice but to oblige. Yeah, I don't think the guy who showed up in the middle of a suspension to escort you to school and threaten me is going to care all that much about being ordered not to do his job. Maybe, just maybe, we might want to think this through a little bit more. Huh? Wait, how come? I don't want to just come out and say that his plan is naive, but his plan is naive. Maybe we could convince him that I'm safe. Maybe that would work better? Really? That's your bright idea? You are so naive. Excuse you, it's better than just hoping he'll forgive and forget. Oh, trust me, he won't forgive and forget. He probably won't trust you for a good long while. It's all good, though. You don't have to worry about it. That is a very strange definition of good you have there. Time to start worrying about a potential knife finding its way to my back when I'm not looking. Don't be overdramatic. He would never do that. Sure, after what happened to my shoulder, I totally believe that. Your shoulder? Oh, crap, Alexander didn't tell him that part, did he? Why did you get quiet all of a sudden? What's this about your shoulder? Oh, it's, you see, the thing about shoulders is that... None of that. Don't you start trying to talk circles around me. Just spill. Well, Alex might have hurt my shoulder a little bit when he gave me that talk. He did what? I'm cramming my foot further and further down the hole, aren't I? It wasn't too bad. He just gripped it really tight. Kind of punctured the skin a little bit with his claws. There was minimal bleeding. Bleeding? Show me! It's cool. You can't even see it anymore. Like I said, it wasn't anything too serious. It just stung a bit and kind of stained my shirt. Wait, you put your school jacket on by the time I'd left the shower yesterday, was that? Yeah, I didn't want you to see the stains on my shirt. Not only would you worry, but there would also be no way for me to explain that without telling you about Alexander. I'll need to have a really serious conversation with Alex as soon as we leave school today. Whoa, let's not be hasty. You're fine. You're not going to get into trouble for telling on him or anything. Are you sure about that? Because up until now, you didn't think he'd do anything to hurt me either. Come on, let's get you out of here. Out of here? Yeah, you're exhausted, aren't you? You said it yourself that you got no sleep last night. Let's get you home before you end up getting sick or something. Second, y'all. Water time. I'm okay. Besides, you can't miss practice just because of me. Why not? As far as I'm concerned, making sure you're taking care of yourself is more important than a day's practice. Not to mention that Alex would never foresee my skipping practice for any reason. If you're so worried about facing him, leaving now would be the best way to avoid him, wouldn't you agree? Okay, that actually makes sense when I think about it. Wouldn't he be upset that you left school without telling him? Oh, please, I slip away from him all the time, remember? And he gets on your case for doing it each and every time. You used to pay him for having to put up with you doing that. Ugh, never mind, I'm too exhausted to care. Okay, I don't think I'm in a position to argue. Good. Come on, you can lean on me for support if you need to. I'm tired, not hurt or sick. Well, I've never had to care for someone before. I'm not familiar with the protocol. There's no protocol to this, you dummy. Stop saying weird things. Dummy, huh? It's not like I'm gonna call you something actually bad for not knowing something. You're still trying your best. How thoughtful of you. Now, if you could be so kind as to give me a minute, I'm going to head back inside to grab my things and let them know I'll be leaving early today to help you out. Please don't tell Saya-chan. She'd probably head outside to nag me about not sleeping last night or something. I wasn't planning to. I'll be right back. I watch silently as Keisuke walks out of the locker room. As soon as he leaves, all the conflicting emotions that I've been feeling since yesterday can come back to hit me in full force, leaving me glad that I'm already sitting down. In particular, the exhaustion catches up to me right away. I guess I've been so worried all day that I haven't had the time to feel properly tired. Still, I don't even care. I'd rather feel all woozy than have to worry for even a second more about what's going to happen to us. It's such a relief to know I didn't screw things up beyond fixing. Not that I'm completely out of the woods yet. No matter what Keisuke says, I don't know if I buy that Alexander won't be a problem going forward. The dude really doesn't like me much right now. Not that I blame him. In fact, he's probably 100% right, at least from his point of view. I'll just have to do better and to prove to him that I do deserve his trust. Just got to hope he doesn't kill me before then. A few minutes later. Walking home under the sun's rays, matching the hare's step as we walk side by side, I feel a confusing mix of emotions. I feel bad for making Keisuke walk me home and missing out on training, but I also feel happy to have him right next to me again. I feel relieved to not have Alexander anywhere nearby, but I also feel guilty for thinking that. I'm happy that Keisuke chose to forgive me, but a certain part of me doesn't think he should have. In fact, if any friend of mine came to me and told me about this exact situation, I'd have been very insistent that the person in question not be forgiven. So now that I'm standing in the seat of the guilty party, it feels really strange. I'm happy to be forgiven, but it's a complicated emotion. Sorry. What for? Just in general. In that case, you're welcome. In general. Heh, thank you. You're pretty gracious sometimes. Sometimes. I'd like to think I'm gracious most of the time. You certainly don't gloat half as much as some people I know, that's for sure. It wouldn't be a good look. But you don't need to thank me. I don't? Not really. I think we're past that point. Past the point of saying thank you? Yeah, look at our relationship. You're my boyfriend, and before that, you're one of my closest friends. It's normal for us to do things for each other. You don't have to thank me for each and every single thing. You still thank me, though. Quite often, actually. I know, but I am just being mindful of other people's points of view. Just because I believe in one thing doesn't mean others will agree with me. Excuse me, if I didn't say thank you, most people would call me rude. One second now, water time. Huh, that's an interesting point of view, I guess. I never really thought of something like that. I've always been raised to say please and thank you. The idea of not saying it kind of makes me feel itchy, but I guess I can imagine how others might disagree. If you're constantly hanging out with someone and doing things for someone else, I guess you end up saying those words a lot. Still, I understand, but I think I'll pass. It would make me pretty uncomfortable not to say it. That's quite alright. Like I said, you don't need to, but I'm not stopping you. Sorry, you don't have to keep saying it if you don't want to. I don't want to be a bother or anything. Don't be silly, Yuichi. Keisuke leans closer to me until our shoulders end up touching. I don't even react when I feel his soft fingers brushing against the back of my arm. I pull my hand out of my pocket. The hair immediately begins tracking the back of my hand with the tips of his fingers. Keisuke's hand, despite his years of practice and overall fitness, is still quite soft and comfortable. The tips of his fingers, slightly calloused from his guitar practice, play with mine, playfully and gently pulling on each of my fingers. Finally, he touches his palm to mine, interlocking our fingers together and squeezing my hand. You sure about this? We might get seen. It's not like there were a lot of people around. Not that I would care if there were. I don't really care about someone seeing me. Keisuke can be so sweet sometimes. My chest feels warm and fuzzy as I squeeze back. I don't know if it's from the happiness of not having lost him or for my being too tired to care, but I think that being seen walking around like this is more than worth it if it allows me to hold hands with Keisuke on my way home. Heh, holding hands on the way home. It's such a cliche thing to think about. When did I turn into this kind of sappy guy? That's so weird. Of course, we are walking into your neighborhood, so I'd understand if you'd rather not risk it. You're asking me that after grabbing my hand? I couldn't resist. It just felt natural. I'm okay with this. Your hand is pretty nice to hold. It's surprisingly soft. Yours is the one that is surprising. You're way more muscular than I am. Get your hand and fur softer than mine. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out the Patreon can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye!